get started, you want to match up all the ends of your cords and then run them through your fingers to find the centre. And if you do have cords of varying lengths, you'll want to do the same thing with all the different lengths of cords that you have. So I have one shorter cord here, and again match the ends, find the centre, and then put them with the centre of your other cords. And then once you've done that, you want to take your board, and then you want to clip your cords to your board, and try and remember roughly where your centre was, and then clip the cords to the bottom of the board as well. So you should be left with your longest cord. So what I do is I just pull about a foot out from this cord and then treat it the same way as the rest by running it through my fingers to find the centre, not counting that part. And then I want to loop this over these using the shortest cord at the top. Just put the loop over and then pull through. And then opening up the loop enough to pull your tail ends through. Just want to pull both your ends through the loop. This can be a little bit fiddly. And then once you pull them both through, just tighten up and then put that part just to where you marked off where the centre of your cords was. And then you want to take the shortest cord, which should be the top one, and put that out of the way. So you should be left with something that looks like this. And then you want to create the rest of your loop by going over and pulling through, and then under and pulling through. And you're just going to keep repeating these knots until you've got the loop to the size you want it. So once you've got the loop part as long as you want it, you can remove your cords from the board, and then you want to gently pull everything into place and just pinch into a U shape. So you should have something that looks like that, and then you can clip this to the top of your board to begin your pattern. So I will usually begin my pattern by taking the 4 cords in the centre and then clipping the 2 centre ones to the bottom of the board and doing my first square knot here by going over, over and through, and then under, under and through, and then continuing the rest of the bracelet. But if your pattern doesn't allow for that, you can do your square knots wherever you like, but if you can do the one in the centre, it does make it look a little bit neater, I think. So you should end up with a loop that looks like that. So once you've completed your bracelet, you want to do your fastening. So for this one, I'm going to do braided tie-on ends, but you could do a button if you preferred. So what I want to do is separate the cords into 2 sections, and then with one section, I'm just going to separate that into 3, and I'm just going to do a straightforward braid. And I'm going to do the same thing at the other side. Once you've got the fastening as long as you want it, you can take all your cords and tie a knot in the end, and then just try and match it up to the knot on your other fastening. And then you can trim and seal any excess. Depending on the material you've used, you might need to use glue here, or it might just be fine without any sealing. But because I've used nylon, I'm just going to use a lighter to seal. And you should end up with a fastening like this. Now this kind of fastening is ideal if you're making an adjustable bracelet, for instance if you don't know the size of the wrist that you're making for, so you can guarantee it'll fit most wrist sizes. Alternatively, if you don't like tie-on ends like this that trail around, you could do a button fastening instead.